Today marks a very special day. It's the first time I'm filming a YouTube video in 11 months. This morning I have a few things on the agenda. I normally like to structure my mornings into 3 distinct blocks because I feel like this is the time when I can get all of the most important parts of my day done. So this morning, the first hour, I'm gonna spend emailing back clients, sending a few invoices, sending a few quotes. In the second hour, I like to spend creating some sort of social post. Ideally, I would have social posts planned out, but such is life. Life has been extremely busy, but I like to post at least every day. And then the third hour, I've been writing my course again. This course is really more of a practical course for people who have just picked up a camera for the first time and want to learn the practical steps to make content for their business or their social media solo by themselves. I'm really excited to write this course, so I try to spend at least 1 hour of focused work on that course per day. And I found that 1 hour is extremely productive. All right, so we did end up getting a little bit of work done. Today is a spicy session at the new Hyrox gym here in Birmingham. Body's feeling kind of sore. The training's adding up, but I feel like I've taken care of my body at least a little bit. I feel like I've kind of learned the amount of volume that my body can handle when it comes to training for something instead of just exercising. I feel like for a long time I was just working out, and there's a difference between working out and training. I feel like now I'm actually training for something, and with that comes a learning process of like what your body can handle. All right, we are officially 1 month out from Hyrox Chicago. I'm doing my first ever Hyrox with my friend Luke. We're doing men's pro doubles. Then a week later, we are going to Dallas and I am doing men's singles open. Tried to get pro, unfortunately, they were sold out by the time I got in line. In December, I'm doing Hyrox Anaheim, that is men's pro singles. That is like my Super Bowl, so to speak. That is like the pinnacle of this season. To be honest, I have gone through a lot of self-doubt the closer this date gets. It's starting to set in where I'm doubting my physical capabilities and like wondering, okay, like, can I even do this thing that I want to do and that I want to excel in? There have been days where the training sucks and I ask myself, like, why am I doing this? This is not my job. I'll never make a living off of this. But I've never truly given my all to something like this in my life. It's not a comparison game against other people. It's a comparison game against me. I truly want to see, okay, how far can Bennett push? How far can Bennett go? And honestly become the fittest version of myself. Maybe I'll race these races and I will hate it and I'll never want to do it again. But I'll never know unless I try. Yeah, that was hard. Wednesdays are normally like a sprinty piece, and then Saturdays are more of like the long Hyrox sim. And so my tendency is to treat like the sprinty pieces as the long aerobic conditioning pieces. which is not the intent. Like, you're supposed to be able to push these short bursts, and each one is supposed to be almost like a sprint. Like, that's how you're supposed to treat them. But like mentally, I want to treat them as like a longer piece, you know, where I can pace and not embrace that like pain that is the intended purpose. So honestly, leading up to the race, like I think these Wednesdays, I just really need to like lean into that. Like, okay, we're treating each set as its own set. And like, yes, we don't want to go out super hot to where the last set is like unattainable, but treat each one as its own little mini race and kind of suffer it in each set. And that will build a different kind of fitness, more of a threshold and pain threshold and endurance for when the longer sessions get painful. All right, I feel like you guys deserve an introduction to my apartment. This is a single bedroom loft in Birmingham, Alabama. It's in the heart of downtown. If you checked in with me in my last YouTube video, you would know that I moved from Tennessee to Birmingham and immediately moved back in with my parents. And that was probably the best decision for me at the time, not because I wasn't going to be successful or didn't think I was going to be successful, but I was leaving with very little money and no knowledge of what the future would be. And so for me, that was the best option at the time. And it was honestly the most tremendous blessing. When I look back upon those 6 months, like those were integral for me to get my feet on the ground and get an idea of what this new life as really an entrepreneur looked like. Then in June, I moved into this apartment. I am heavy now on investing in things that make your life easier or make it easier for you to conduct or do business. And my business is creating content. And so I knew that I needed to take a plunge and put myself in an environment that made it easy for me to create. So far, it's been amazing. Like this place has made it so easy to create content. Now I'm at the point where I'm not necessarily even calling this a apartment anymore. Really, it's a studio. It's a creative hub for me. I feel like this is truly becoming a place for me to build my brand from the ground up. And now I've been in this space for about 4 months, and it's been a little over a year since I quit my job, went full-time freelance. Now it kind of begs the question, what the hell am I doing with my life? All right, this is like serious matter, so I feel like I should use the crispy mic. Love the lav, but we love a good crispy mic. Everyone is asking me, like I started posting more on social media, and it's less about filmmaking and more about me as a human, more about my story and me, how I'm going through life. You know, and people are asking me like, what is my business focused on now? I'm still a filmmaker. I'm still doing the freelance filmmaking thing. Like that's how I'm making money. That is the main driver of my business. But I'm at the point now where, you know, after a full year of freelancing, the freelance grind is extremely difficult. It is not for the faint of heart. And one thing I'm realizing is that if you are just freelancing, going from client to client, or even if you have several clients on retainer, like it's often not sustainable for the long term. Like I have long-term goals and I have things that I want to do in life. And I'm realizing now that this lifestyle, at least the way that I was living it, is not sustainable when you think about the future. Now, that's not to say you shouldn't go through periods of time where you're absolutely grinding and hustling. I mean, I have gone through periods of time where, you know, every single weekend I was staying up until 4 a.m., you know, filming competitions or editing or learning. And I think that's vital for all creators to go through a process like that. But after a full year of it, saying yes to everything, it really puts things in perspective. And so now I'm at a point where I am realizing, okay, what is my business going to look like for the long term? When I talk about building a personal brand, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm very much of the mind that if you create a narrative and story around yourself, people will latch on to that. When people would ask me when I quit my job what I wanted to do, and my first response was, you know, build a brand around myself. And at the time, I don't really think I knew what I meant by that. Like I thought that I just wanted to like, you know, continue to do what I was doing, but just on my own. I think what I meant was, you know, telling my story. And it seems naive to think that you can make money or be successful telling your story or creating content for yourself. But that's where I'm at right now. And the more that I do this, the more that I realize like you can have influence on people and you can create a brand around yourself. We follow individuals for who they are. Like when we subscribe to people's YouTube channels, when we follow influencers on social media, like we follow them for who they are as people. I think everyone is given a set of gifts. I think all of us need to find what they are and play into them in whatever we do. As I've grown and as I've matured as a person, I am finding that I would be remiss if I didn't tap into what I believe my gifts are. And I hate saying like I want to be an influencer, but I want to use my platform to influence. And I want to help people and educate people and use it for good. I think that I've barely scratched the surface when it comes to being a creative. If I were to sum up my goals in a very concise sentence, because I know this was very long-winded and this was entirely off the cuff, which is extremely rare for me. I'm a big scripts guy. I like to write out everything that I say. But this was entirely off the cuff. I want to get to a point where I am telling my story, showing who I am as a creator, but as an individual, and help people do the same. I'm excited to see where that progresses. And for now, I am going to continue to tell my story. I'm going to continue to be real and see where that takes me. And that's a pretty long-winded way of telling you where I'm at right now. I'm going to eat something, a little snack, and then I'm going to go lift with my Hyrox partner / friend / homie / brother. And we're going to lift some weights and do a little workout.
I'm like playing with my hair.
Tell me again.
All right, we both did 3 sets of 6 reverse lunges, built to a moderately heavy load. Then we're gonna do a threshold session. We're doing 3 sets, 500 meter row, 500 meter ski, 500 meter row, 500 meter ski. What's the rest? 2-minute rest in between. Pushing race pace. We're gonna try to hold what we're gonna hold during the race. So we'll report back and see how that goes. Let's go. Good?
Yeah. Do I have one more?
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing it 5 times.
No. I was about to work out this morning.
This is threshold, right?
Yeah. Does it feel like it?
Oh yeah.
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 Ah. That last set was all sub 145.
Camera's on, I can't. You're doing singles in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever get into the pros?
I probably won't know until like a couple weeks out, yeah.
That's going to be such an advantage, even though it is open. It's going to be such an advantage going into Anaheim.
Yeah.
Because all I'm going to know is doubles. Bro, you're going to put up a sexy time, bro.
Yeah, you
really are.
Holy crap, it's gonna be insane.
I hope.
Like, I think with the weights being what they are, I think you can easily hold 420, and I would venture to say you could probably hold 420 because of that.
On the run?
Just because you're so strong.
Yeah.
You've turned into a great runner, but like your strength on like the lunges, the wall balls, the sleds,
Yeah.
bro, it's gonna be nothing.
When we did that workout on Saturday with the lunges, like they felt like nothing.
And that was the 70 too.
Yeah.
I felt strong on the lunges too.
Yeah.
Stuff is
Dude, okay, you're gonna be able to experience the pre. All right, that pretty much concludes my day today. I love the life that I've created for myself in the past year, and that's not something that I could have said this time last year or within the past 3 years. I think I could see the light at the end of the tunnel. I knew what I was working towards, but I didn't feel like I was in it. Now I feel like I'm in the thick of it, and I feel like I'm in an environment that fosters my goals and the growth that I want to achieve, and I feel like I'm actually working towards what I want in life. It's almost frightening how fast the days go by. I wake up, take each challenge as it comes, and before I know it, it's time to go to bed. And that really puts things in perspective, because now more than ever, I'm committed to pursuing the things that I want in life. And I talk about this all the time. There is just no room for me not to pursue my goals and chase the things that I want, because life is literally too short, and I am living it every single day. I wake up, take the next step, do the next thing on my to-do list, and before I know it, that day's gone. And each day that I feel like I'm not pursuing those things is a wasted day. But now I live in an ongoing mindset of unapologetically pursuing my goals in life. I hope you like this kind of content, because I do. If you do enjoy it, let me know. Because I want to continue making these types of videos. They're easy to make, but they're fun to make. And to me, this is extremely fulfilling. So thanks for watching. This is the first of many. We'll see you in the next one.